Good evening, everybody over here on Facebook. How are you guys doing? Hi, my Facebook Live family. How are you? I am Altovise Pelzer. I am the voice coach, not a voice coach, but the voice coach, professional speaker, certified life coach, and Amazon bestselling author. And I'm coming to you with a late night biz chat with an author because I'm up doing some work and getting some things done. And that's what it's about. I have my jasmine tea in my unicorn cup. I got my laptop, getting some things done. But I was on the phone with one of my clients who's one of my aunts, and she's finishing up her book. So I said, well, let's go live and have a chat. Because, people always think about some things. Hey, auntie. People always go, think that when it comes to writing a book, they kind of have this idea of what it's supposed to look like. And it doesn't necessarily look that way. And so that part, we're really going to go in and kind of change the perspective on this at the moment. So when she comes in, hey Celestine, good evening. When she comes in, I'm going to bring her in live. But for those who are joining this via the replay, don't forget that you can get a copy of my second book by going to bit.ly/lovemyvoice and put in coupon code SPEAK. Definitely a great opportunity. It is an ebook version of the book, but it is the whole book. That part. Super hot because I just took it out. There she is. Hey, auntie.
I guess I turn it this way.
Yes.
I look upside down, like I'm looking like up here.
No, you're fine. No, turn it back. Turn it back.
But I look like I'm looking up at the sky, like, hi, everybody.
Yeah, it's late night, y'all, if you didn't know. So this is one of my aunts. Her name is Yolanda. And Yolanda is an author. She currently has 2 books that she has published so far. And she is in the process of doing her 3rd book, releasing her 3rd book. She actually just showed me the cover of it. Hey, you upside down, Lord. She actually just sent me the cover of her 3rd book earlier this evening. And we were talking about some things. When it comes to writing the book, let's just be honest. Let's just be real. It's not all it's cracked up to be. It's not. She is struggling.
I don't look like I'm looking at you. I look like I'm looking at somebody else. I'm sorry, guys. Okay.
I don't know what she's over here doing, y'all. I don't know.
I'll get it.
Celestine, good evening.
Oh, hi, everybody.
How are you? Yes, so literally, when you're writing a book, it's not always as cracked up, all it's cracked up to be. There is a lot that you go through in the writing process. And so even though this is her 3rd book, and wait, let me just first say, this is not just her 3rd book, but this is her 3rd book in 3 months. 3 months. Some of you are out there struggling with writing the 1st book. bit.ly/lovemyvoice. No, speak loud.
What's your name there?
The store, bit.ly/speak loud, and get the ebook writing course. That's write the book in a weekend. Literally, this is her 3rd book in 3 months, guys. If she can write 3 books in 3 months, and she still works a full-time job, what are you doing? And so, people often think, oh, once you've done it the first time, the second time is easy, right? The 3rd time is easy, right? Hey, Yolanda, thank you for the reactions. Yeah, all the rest of that is easy, right?
No.
They're saying congratulations.
I see. Thank you, guys.
Oh, no, it don't work that way. And so we were talking earlier about what are some of the struggles that you go through as a writer, even though you are at book number 3. What are some of the things that you go through? So first, let them know who you are. Tell them a little bit about you, and then we'll get questions.
Okay, well, my name is Yolanda Poe, and I call myself the wilderness warrior. I go into the deep, dark places of your mind where there's doubt and fear and anxiety and there's panic attacks going on, where your insides are going, and I drag you out. That's your wilderness. I spent a lot of time in the wilderness, so I know how to get through that thing, where you're looking, trying to figure out if there's crocodiles out there. I know where they sit in the midnight hours or during the day. So I can come in and I can drag you out, and I can help you get to a comfortable place mentally, and then show you your greatness. I am a survivor of domestic violence, and I forgot what else I was supposed to tell you, but that's who I am.
Said I forgot what else I was supposed to tell you.
Okay. It's late. But okay, so I have to piggyback off of her, write the book in the weekend. So that's how I got started with this, guys. I was watching her, and she put that out there. She said, if you want to join this course, you want to write a book in the weekend, holla at me, in so many words. So I was like, oh, I could I could do that.
I said, holla at me though.
I said, in so many words. You see the quotes? You see the...
Okay. Your story.
Somebody said, what's the link again? Somebody wants the link.
bit.ly/speak loud. And the name of the course is Write the Book This Weekend. It's still $10.
So what I did is I sat down, I said, oh, okay, I'm going to do it. Now, see, my niece knows me. As you can see, I'm real goofy, right? And I'll be like, sure, boo, I got you.
I look like super dark. Let me go get my light. Finish talking.
Okay, so I had decided, I said, okay, well, I'm going to do it. And she's like, okay, auntie. So when it was over, the weekend was over, I called her up and I said, okay, I wrote the book. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, I wrote the book. I said, now what do I do? So then she had, this whole group of women that we've been, that she introduced me to, and Reactivate Me, which is bit.ly/reactivate me. I have to give it a plug. I'm sorry, because this is where I'm at. Just ignore her on the other side. It's $25 a month to be a part of this accountability class, right? So that's less than $1 a day. I'm just saying. So I let everybody know that I had finished the book, but I didn't know what else to do. So that was when we all had to get together and remind me, because I'm flighty like that, because we had already went through it. But I had to have them tell me again. So, so then we all got together, and they stayed up with me till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I said they stayed up with me till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You saw all this energy I got? Yeah. Well, I had all 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They were doing shifts. Altovise was out working somewhere, and she kept saying, okay, I'll talk to her, but she was busy. So I just kept grabbing the women out of the Reactivate. I mean, we was twisting our hair. I had decided I wasn't going to write the book. I wasn't going to put the book out anymore. I said, the heck with it. They don't need no book, no how. People don't know me. They'll be all right. We can do this another time. But no, they stuck it out with me, and that's how I ended up putting out Mass Darkness, which is bit.ly/Mass Darkness, capital M, please.
Capital M, please.
So it was, I think this was the question. So no, it was very, very hard. This one was very, 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 very hard. The first book, Mass Darkness, was to prepare you for this book. But then for those of you that know that I do marching orders in the morning, which I haven't done this week, but that's another scoop. With me doing marching orders, I ended up doing something called this Ole House, which is bit.ly/THISOLEHOUSE, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. So I ended up doing that book.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how book number 2 came out. This one was hard because this one right here, and then I'm going to shut up so she can talk. But this one right here is my life story. And this one's hard. This one's really hard. Mass Darkness was preparing you for how people's minds are and how we wear masks. This book is hard because the math is literally off. I am the frog on the table. If you didn't pass science class, let me help you. I'm getting ready to give you an A. This book right here is not for the churchy, and I mean no harm when I say that, but it's not. It is my mind, literally my mind, literally my life, literally what I thought at that time, and the details therein.
Mm-hmm.
So this is designed to free the bound. This is not, oh, look at God. Isn't he moving? Look at the scriptures. Let me research that and see how it is in Greek. And no, there ain't none of that. This is a woman that has been broken for over 20 years. And it's real. So if you can't handle cuss words, I have to say it. They're in the book. You'll be all right. It's about deliverance. So I encourage everybody when the joint drops, I got to talk like me. When the joint drops, right? Because it's coming. Can you believe that I'm a businesswoman that I actually talk to people daily?
When the joint drop, listen, I'll let you girl. When the joint drop, I'll let you girl.
Just know that it is designed to promote deliverance, because we wear masks. We act like we don't do certain stuff that we do. And we do all of this stuff all in the name of the Lord, and we're saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost, yet with fire in our bones, and we call devils by their name, but we curl up in the middle of the night in the corner and rock. Because we can't deal with what's going on in our life. We can't handle what we went through 6 years ago. We dragged all that up here. That's for those people. So if there's anybody here that's delivered, then I bless you. Give it to somebody. Buy it and give it to somebody that needs deliverance.
Said anybody here that's delivered, y'all don't need it. Y'all good.
You don't need it. Buy it and give it to somebody else.
All right. And it's interesting you would say that, because a lot of people think, oh, when from the outside looking in, as somebody who's never written a book, you may look at an author and say it's easy to put words on paper. But it's bigger than just putting words on paper. You're actually putting your life on paper. You're putting your emotions on paper. And that's whether the book is fiction or nonfiction. And that's what people don't realize, is no matter what, fiction or nonfiction, you're still putting your heart on the page. Yeah. And so you're either giving breath to a story that was created in your mind and in your heart, or you're showing people your story. Either way, it's an emotional process to go through writing a book. And so people always say, oh my goodness, writers should be dating writers. Listen, that'd be stressful. I don't know if I could date a writer. I don't know. Like, I need to date somebody like a piano player, a guitarist or something. Somebody who could just play some music and calm me down. Yes. I'm a break for one of them. Sport or something, because I can go outside the house and go to a game or something. Right. But I don't know if that would be the best. Like, I don't know how that would work. Because as writers, and this is something we were talking about earlier, is that literally you'll go into this moment of seclusion because you're writing. Yep, that's where I've been. This moment where, like, everything is flowing, the ideas are coming, everything is coming and coming and coming, and so literally you'll sit and you won't speak to anybody for hours or days, or that's where I've been. Take the do not disturb off of your phone. Yeah, that's right. That's where I've been. That's where I've been. Absolutely. And so my auntie all week, she normally has been doing in the mornings the marching orders, and she hasn't been doing them this week because she's been focusing on getting this book out because she wants it out before the end of the month. Now the end of the month is a week and so much away. Book is just about done. Yeah, just about. Book is just about done. She just sent me the book cover. Book cover looks freaking amazing. Book cover looks amazing. So she got that done. So literally she's just finalizing the last piece and then sending it out for it to be transcribed and uploading it. And people always go, oh my goodness, but you got to put out all this much money for a book cover, you put out all this money for, you know, this and that. And see, the thing about it is, it's not necessary that you have to put out all of that money. It's what are you looking for? What do you want to be the return on your investment? So you invest money in a good looking cover because you want the return on that investment is that somebody's going to see that cover and be interested in reading your book. They're going to see that cover and be interested in buying the book because they're going to see it and say, oh, that looks like interesting. Even though we all know the whole saying is don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
But how many people have bought books simply because of the cover? Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. And so, when it comes to that writing process and shutting down, what do you think is the hardest part for you? Even though this is book number 3, what is the part that really makes you shut down the most? I know for me, I shut down because I don't want anybody to give me ideas.
Yeah.
Like I have ideas in my head that I want to get out on paper, and I don't want anybody to inflict their ideas in my head, and then I'm like all over the place. So when I have something in my head, I kind of pull back from everybody and go ahead and write.
Right.
So what do you think that one thing is for you?
I think I like my writing style. I'm a little arrogant. So I like my writing style. I like how it flows. I had a college professor say to me, why don't you go into journalism? So what happens is this, when you stop me, the way I was flowing, when I go back, is not the same. So now I got to get in my zone. And that's where my problem has been. Because when I went back and checked the book, there were sections in there was meaty. It was wonderful. But then when I went back in when I was sleepy and had to redo some stuff, that the meat and potatoes of it wasn't the same. So I noticed the difference in my and who I am when I read the book. Now you guys probably won't notice it, but I noticed where the differences were because I was taken out of my zone. So like all week I was like, I can't march nobody's orders. I gotta sit and figure this out. Because can't march nobody's orders. I can't. And I was like, Lord, just keep the people, because I do know that folks actually love what God does through me. And how do I know that? Is because I have people inboxing me. One of them just roll in, hey, my Patricia. People are inboxing me. It's like I almost want to tell people I'm still saved. I ain't fell off the wagon. I didn't go get no gin. I didn't go back to my abusive situation. I'm still here because I literally fell off the planet. But you take me out of my zone. Like I called Altovise tonight and I was typing. It's like I had to stop.
Oh, and yeah.
It was like I couldn't.
That might have had something to do with the teenagers and stuff in the background.
They was trying to talk to me. Auntie, listen. This your third book, Auntie? They can't read the book, by the way, everyone. So they can't. They not old enough yet. And Altovise knows they ain't old enough yet. So that's going to have to be one of them shelved items when they marry.
Right. That part, right?
Yeah. But that's what was the hardest for me, Altovise, is trying to keep it. You know, anybody can put, when you have this is the best way to put it. I am a soldier, like really, like seriously, like Altovise to tell you, we've been through some stuff where I would look at her and go, buck up, kid. I mean, and we was like going through hell. And I'll go, right. Buck up. Shake yourself. Get yourself together. The whole world would be shook. So when I write, originally, if I don't do it from my heart, you get see spot run, spot ran quick. I don't tell you about none of the scenery.
Right? You get all like the outskirts.
Right. You get the haze. Like it's morning time. I'm not telling you whether it's cold, whether it's hot. I'm just telling you it's morning time and I'm walking outside and this is what's going on. So yeah, as you say, that part.
That part. Yeah. And it's interesting because I found that as well. And I did that with my third book, the ripple effect. And I felt like even now when I went back to go read it, it's like there's so much more that I can add to it. So I am going to re-release the ripple effect. I'm going to keep the cover that I have because I love the cover for it, but I'm going to re-release it. And then I was just like, oh, I was looking at the covers for my other books and I'm like, do I want to redo those covers? I don't feel like redoing those covers. I actually love, especially the cover for my first book. I love that cover. Like that is my favorite. And I get so many compliments on that cover. I get so many people that tell me, oh that cover is everything. And it was interesting because I've had people tell me that, well, maybe you should have some, people on the cover because people on the cover do sell more. That's a tip for you guys. Those who are just joining in, hey guys, I am Altovise Pelzer. I am professional speaker, certified life coach, and Amazon best-selling author. This is Speak Easy, another Speak Easy interview where I am talking to Miss Yolanda Poe, and she is an author about to publish her third book. Some of you guys may be still working on your first book. So I have a gift for you. If you go to bit.ly/speak aloud, you can get the Write the Book This Weekend course. It is a webinar, a one video webinar that will help you write a book in a weekend. That is what it is. So Yolanda has not only published 3 books or about to publish number 3, but this will be her third book in 3 months. Now, some of you have been struggling, and I know, because I struggled as well. In my first book, it took me actually 8 years to publish it. I struggled from the title, which was It's Okay to Cry, to the length, to even thinking, oh my goodness, what if my book ends up at the Goodwill? But I had to change my thought process that even if it ends up at the Goodwill, somebody had to buy it first for it to get there. Like, they didn't just ship it from Amazon to the Goodwill. So... that part, I gotta understand that. And there are so many behind the scenes, just so many behind the scenes things that people don't understand about writing a book. And so I've done the book collaborations. I've done putting money out for different things that I didn't need to put money out for, and doing the research. Oh my God, I did so much research, guys. I have books of research. I can tell you just about every avenue to publish your book, best ways to publish it. I can tell you where the book awards are and it's a mess. It's crazy. It's crazy. So right now we're talking to Yolanda because she is working, like I said, she's finishing up her third book. She'll tell you, of course, for those who are catching this via the replay, don't forget, even on the replay, your shares, invites, and your reactions still matter, so you can tap that screen, and we definitely appreciate it. And you can still share this out, even on the replay. And if you did not hear at the beginning, you can get a free copy of my second ebook by going to bit.ly/love my voice. Find code Speak Up. So we've been talking about writing the third book. Even though you've written some of the others, you still go through some of the same processes. We talked about that need to kind of distance yourself from people sometimes. And it's not because you don't like people. It's not because you've fallen off the bandwagon. It's not because you're drinking a fifth of vodka. It's simply, well, sometimes it is, depending on the author. I'm just going to put it out there. Some of your favorite authors might be drinking a fifth of vodka.
I'm not drinking a fifth.
I got jasmine tea in my unicorn cup.
Oh my God.
Y'all good on my end. I got jasmine tea in my unicorn cup.
This is water. This is not vodka. Wait. Wait,
And so when
zoom
you
in.
think about it, there are so many things that people don't understand about the writing process. Now, this is the part that gets interesting though, is everybody always talks about, how I came up with the title and the title has to be something amazing and spirit fingers. And I know that with It's Okay to Cry, I struggled with that title because I was like, who wants to read a book that says it's okay to cry? Who wants that? What are you doing? What are you doing? And so for me, that was a struggle, but I've come to find out that that is something that really needed to be talked about. It was something that really needed to be discussed. And so the title of my first book has always become a very great opening topic of discussion for no matter who I've talked to, no matter what platform I've been in, no matter what place that I've been. If I tell them the title of my book, it's always a topic of discussion. So for your newest book, as well as your first book, tell me about that process for you with coming up for the title.
Well, I can say for the first book was, my baby. Because from beginning of time when I decided that I wanted to go into ministry, because I was a minister for 10 years. I was an assistant pastor. And one of the things that used to mess with my head is that we all put on masks. I used to smoke cigarettes. Like, whoa. I used to tell you, I used to knock them back. And what I would do is I washed my hair every day anyway, but especially on Sunday morning or on Wednesdays when I had to minister, I would make sure that I washed my hair. My clothes was in a different room. So I would shower, go in, and when I would leave, I wouldn't smoke no more until service was over. So I was wearing a mask. I was appointed, because nobody knew I smoked cigarettes. Now, some people will say, well, cigarettes ain't that deep. No, to some people, cigarettes is just as deep as being an adulteress, as being a homosexual, as being transgender. Sometimes, to some people, that's just as serious. And they take it just as serious. They even though, we as saved folk, we like to categorize sins. So that sin to some was just as bad. So I wore a mask every time I went to go to minister. I cuss well. That was a gift that I had from the enemy. He taught me well. So that was another mask that I wore. I was sneaky. I wasn't one of them. I wouldn't throw hands. I'm the one that you need to catch. You need to watch your glass around me. See, so, because I be to put something in it. So I wore masks to mask who I was, the one with the temper, the one that was scared, the one that was smoking cigarettes, the one that didn't trust anybody. I always wore this smile. Mass darkness came from that. Because we spend so much time covering up who we are. How you supposed to, really preach the gospel when you have nothing to tell people that you're delivered from or working on? We try to make it look like we're delivered. And now we're living this life. And that's not what we do. So that's where mass darkness came from. The hatred of love was, we talk about love, but we really don't know what that thing is. We don't know what that is. The Bible talks about it, but we don't know what that is. When was the last time somebody told you that they did something and you was like, oh, okay, you good? A person that loves, the Bible says that it casts out all fear. It casts out all mistakes. So when was the last time, we talk about it, but we don't be about it? And then we have these relationships that we're in, that we try to make people think that are perfect. That's where it came from. The hatred of love makes no sense. When I said that to somebody, they went, huh? That makes absolutely no sense. And it doesn't. And that was
Yeah.
another reason why. That's another reason why I did it. Oh, and to respond to somebody, I saw their post. Yes, I know church people need deliverance too. I'm just saying it. I needed to let y'all know that it is rated R, because I don't want anybody to that some people can't handle it. So I'm trying to be mindful of those that can't handle 4-letter words. Because some saints, honestly, at this point, when they see it,
You
they
going in and
immediately get
out. You
offended.
kept sounding like an alien.
What? Why am I sounding like an alien? You look like an alien. How am I sounding like one? I look like I'm fine. I'm not okay. Am I okay now? Am I okay
Okay, you're
now?
okay now.
Okay. Um, so I it's important for me that people understand the concept of love and hate and where it comes from. And this is what I was saying, is that I understand the church people need deliverance as well, and we need to be talked to as well. Some of us do act like we've arrived, so I don't want to offend anybody. I'm sorry, I'm just a little too real, so y'all just had to work with me. Some of us act like we have arrived, and when we see 4-letter words or we hear something about sex, we get offended. I don't want to offend anyone.
Right, go all the way left.
Okay, I know. I seriously, I don't want to offend anybody. So please know that this book is just really straight. It's as raw as I've allowed it to be. I gave you me. So that's what I meant by that, y'all. I know saved folk need to, read them books too. I know.
And so we got to think. Now, there are people out there that are always talking about, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. I want to write a book. And I laugh because this whole journey, of course, my auntie has been a very big part of this journey through when I had to move from Philadelphia to Maryland. That is the aunt that I came and stayed with. So she's seen all the behind the scenes stuff, to, struggling to find a job, to starting a business and saying, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to do something to try to make some money, and, just kind of jumping out in the middle of the water with no floaty. And she's seen all of that, and now she's seen the progress and where I've come to now. And in this whole journey, she came up to me and she said, I want to write a book. And I said, great, auntie. Sure. Okay, so what do you want to write it about? Let's work on your outline. She said, wait, whoa. She's like, wait, slow down, calm down. She said, I want to write a book. I didn't say I wanted to write the book today. And, right? One of the things that I dealt with was that literally for my first book, it took me 8 years to write it. My second book took me a month to write it, get the cover, get the editing, everything. And so the difference was between me saying that I wanted to write the book and me actually doing the book was at the beginning of 2016, I was evicted from my home. But prior to that, I had a conversation with my daughter. And the conversation with my daughter, I had blurted it out that I had been molested. And her and I sat there and we kind of looked at each other, and she kind of cried and held my hand, and we talked a bit about it. But that was the first time that I had ever told someone that I had been molested. And in that moment, it was like, oh my God, what did I do? But I found that later on down the line, my daughter said that was one of her most proudest moments of me. Was that moment that I told her that, is because she felt like she was not alone. In me telling her that I had been molested as well, she felt like she wasn't going through this journey alone. She also felt like that I wasn't just telling her things just to tell her, but that some of the same things that I was telling her were things that I had lived through myself. And the difference between the two instances was that they actually spoke up and I did not. I did not tell anybody until when her and I had this conversation in 2015. And so I had a different mindset. And I think, that's the mindset shift that people have to go through in order for them to get the book done. We can have ideas all day. I have books and books of poetry. I have books of songs. I have books of all these different things, and that's fine. But there's a mindset shift that has to occur in order for you to actually publish a book.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever I put on that paper, it can't be purely emotion. Come on. It can't be purely emotion. And whatever I put on that paper, it can't be just me bashing somebody. It literally has to be, I'm better, not bitter. And I had to go through that process to get to that point of being better and not bitter. No matter what I'm going through at the moment, am I better or am I bitter? So what was that mindset shift for you